The sheriff's laugh rolled across the dusty yard like a warped church bell, sharp enough to make the ranch hands pause mid-task. The sun hung low behind him, catching on the badge pinned to his vest and turning it into a flare of molten gold. Beside him stood his daughter, broad-shouldered, cheeks flushed from the heat, eyes stubbornly fixed on the ground. She didn't move when he shoved her forward. Only her boots slid in the date, gathering pale streaks of powder that clung to the leather. Across from them, the cowboy, lean, Dusko from the long ride-in, rested a hand on the reins of the restless stallion he'd brought to break. The animal tossed its head, Maness snapping like a whip. The cowboy's gaze drifted from the horse to the sheriff's daughter, then back to the sheriff, measuring the shape of the trouble he'd just ridden into. He wasn't a man who scared easily, but the tension in the sheriff's grin carried something jagged beneath it. "You said you needed someone who can handle a wild one," the sheriff drawled. "Well, now you've got two." The cowboy let the word settle. In the windless quiet, he could hear the girl breathing, controlled, but tight, as though she was fighting the instinct to run. He understood that feeling too well. He'd walked into towns where the wrong man claimed ownership of everything he could touch. He recognized that look in her eyes, someone waiting for a door to open, even if it was just a crack wide enough to slip through. "I train horses," he answered, voice low but steady. "Not people." The sheriff's smile sharpened. "Maybe it's time you learned both." The girl lifted her head then, finally meeting the cowboy's eyes. Something flickered there, not helplessness, but a quiet plea mixed with a spark of defiance. It hit him harder than the sheriff's threat. The stallion snorted, hooves scraping, as if impatient for a decision. The cowboy adjusted his hat, spine straightening. He had come for the horse. But the frontier had its own way of rearranging a man's intentions, of dragging him into storms he didn't ask for. And he could already sense that this was one he wouldn't be able to ride away from. The stallion training began before sunrise,